Well, guess what? We're on our way. Yes. This morning we stop in Lexington. We minister at Zion Baptist Church down there this morning, and then from there we head to Nashville, then to Hot Springs, Arkansas, then down to Rice, Texas, and we pick up our camper. If you were to look behind me here, you couldn't put a tissue back there. It is so packed with all sorts of camper stuff back there that we need to take with us. But we're excited about it. Nancy's doing better. Say hi, Nancy.
Hey.
Hey, there she is. Yeah, she's doing better. But we're excited about it, and we're going to sort of video a little bit on our way, and just want to take you all along with us.
We had a good service this morning in Lexington, and now we're heading to Nashville, and we're stopping about every hour or so I can get out and stretch, and my back is feeling better.
How many days since your surgery?
It's been 10 days since my back surgery.
And the doctor is telling her, and this is sort of hurting her a little bit, is that it's probably going to be 6 weeks past surgery before she'll be able to swim.
6 to 12 weeks.
6 to 12 weeks, yeah. So Nancy's like, oh, you know. But yeah, we're doing good. We're excited, and see all that stuff back there. All that stuff has to eventually go into the camper. But we're excited. It's been raining and it's chilly, but it's okay. It's okay. And you know, I wanted Nancy to say something so you could actually see her. Show your face again there, Nancy. Yeah. But yeah, it's going good. Nancy's getting better every day. You can see an improvement every day, so that's good. That's good. Well, this is day 2 of our journey to go pick up our Casita camper, and we spent the night last night in Nashville at the KOA there in Nashville. And as a matter of fact, Saturday night on our way back with our camper, we're going to be spending the night in Nashville. The only difference is last night we stayed in a cabin. When we come back, we'll be in our camper staying down there. But tonight we head to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it's about a 6-hour drive from where we were. And I'm hoping either tonight or tomorrow morning to go to Hot Springs National Park and at least just check it out. We've never been there before. Well, we made it to Texas, and wouldn't you know it, we've been encountering rain. I mean, we got nailed with rain back north of Texarkana, and then whenever we pulled into the Texas Welcome Center, we sat there waiting for the rain to stop. So there's like aerial flood watches and storms and all of that kind of stuff. So it's been wet again, and it's only 60 degrees. I'm freezing in shorts and a short sleeve shirt. Today is the day we're heading over to Rice, Texas to pick up our Casita. We are so excited. I can't keep my hands on the steering wheel.
Please do.
Okay, I will. So we will have video on all of that coming up, but it's just an exciting day for us.
Off of 3 different sources, okay?
Okay.
So you can run it off of either AC, gas, or DC, okay? Now the way that you switch between all those different modes, so you have your auto mode, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If this light is on, it will detect either the AC or gas on its own for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to switch over to DC, which is going to be again running off of your camper battery,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're going to press down on the DC mode manually.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's going to be switching over to your battery. Alrighty?
Now, is that how I should travel down the road?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Whenever you're traveling, that's how you want to run the refrigerator on DC.
On DC, okay.
That's only going to maintain the temperature in here. It's not going to get it any colder.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Alrighty? Now, if you're going to stop by, to stretch your legs, eat, whatever it may be, something that's going to take a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you can go ahead and come back here and turn off the refrigerator, okay?
Okay.
That's just basically going to let the refrigerator stop pulling from your camper battery,
Mm-hmm.
preventing it from draining it, okay?
Okay.
That's if your vehicle's off, okay?
Yeah.
If your vehicle's on, you don't have to worry about it. The
Okay.
vehicle will be trickle charging your camper battery.
Right.
It's
Okay.
going to be a small trickle charge, but it'll do enough to where it won't kill the battery.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Now, turn on the refrigerator, and you give it a few seconds, and it's gonna go right back to whatever mode it was last set on. So, again, it's got a slight delay, but it'll go right back to your DC mode when it's ready.
Okay. There
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
You press down the DC, and I went ahead and already set it to your auto mode just now, so
Okay.
you don't ever have to press this button again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because then whenever you go to turn it on, it will detect again AC or gas on its own for you.
Okay.
Your temperature is 1 through 5, 5 being the coldest, and you toggle your way through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Your little latch right here, you're gonna slide that up. Okay. The first thing that's gonna get cold is your freezer. Once that gets a good temperature, it's gonna get the rest of the refrigerator cold for you.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Alrighty. It's a decent sized refrigerator.
Yeah.
Compared to our pop-up that we had, it was
Oh, yeah,
it,
yeah,
it was
compared to a pop-up,
1
sure.
cubic foot, I think,
Yeah.
is what it was.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
fit a gallon of milk in it. We had to buy half gallons.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Any questions on the refrigerator?
No.
Okay.
I've been watching so many videos, and
Yeah.
I've watched your video a couple of times. So
Yeah, that video, I should have gotten royalties from that
you,
guy.
you should have. Yeah.
Alrighty, and then right up here is just going to be extra storage. Okay, every Casita does come with the vent right here. Oh, I'm sorry, the outlet right here. Okay,
Mhm.
the outlet is just going to be so you can plug something in if you needed to.
Right.
Okay,
And that's up there on top. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. There you
and then right up here is just going to be more storage. Okay, alrighty.
go. Okay.
There's usually a Holy Bible that's in there. I'll make sure to put that in there for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. And then up here you have yourself the awning crank.
Okay.
And then what we call the center raft bar. So when we're out there with the awning, I'll point out where that goes and what it does.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. And what was your name? I'm sorry.
Alan.
Alan. That's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Alrighty. And then of course you have the max fan. So whenever you go to turn it on, you should just open up the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can either have air exhausting out or air coming in. Right
Okay.
now you have air exhausting out. You hit your in and out button, you'll see the fan stop. Then it'll spin the other way around, and you actually have air coming in this time. Okay. Out.
And is there a remote for that?
There is. It's gonna be right in here.
Right in there. Okay.
You're also gonna have.
Somebody know.
Yeah. This is just again gonna be all the paperwork for all the appliances in here. Okay.
Okay.
The remote controller for the max fan, and then also the TV remote controller is gonna be in here as well.
Okay.
Okay. This white box right here is gonna be for the backup camera.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So right now it's not paired up. I will pair it up before you guys head out of here.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and leave that out here. And then this right here, this little thing right here, this is a little power converter for the TV. Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys want to run your battery off of the TV, you
Mhm.
can. Okay.
Okay.
What you got to do is you're gonna go
It's
ahead
plugged
and
into 110 right
yeah.
now.
So the 12-volt outlet, you just plug this in into that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then your 110 power cord into this,
Okay.
and it's just gonna help run off the battery at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
And then you also have yourself the water pump switch right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for whenever you guys actually go to use the pump, okay,
Mm-hmm.
turn this on, and it's gonna provide water for the sinks in here. Okay.
Okay.
If you guys are at campsites and they provide water for you,
Mhm.
don't worry about this. You can leave that off.
Okay.
Okay. Your digital thermostat will control either the AC unit or your furnace.
Okay.
So both of the appliances, if you want to run one or the other, they go through here.
Okay.
So press down the center button, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then press down it again. It's going to blink your off mode. So then you turn the wheel. You have your cool.
Okay.
And then you have your electric heat. So your AC unit provides heat.
Okay.
And then gas heat is going to be for the furnace down there.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we're going to go to cool. And then it's going to go to your fan settings. You have auto high or auto low. So if it says auto on the top, just know it's going to regulate the temperature in here.
Okay.
And then cool. And then high and low is going to constantly keep the AC unit going no matter what temperature you have it set to.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then you just turn on the wheel to actually adjust the temperatures. Okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
That sounds easy. Now the heating element that's in here, that's just to break chill, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, okay.
And if it's going to be like at 40, just go ahead and start using your furnace.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then you're going to turn this off. You're good to go?
All right. That doesn't have a range sensor.
No.
Okay, I'll just check.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
A little bit more about your TV. The TV is a smart TV, okay?
Okay.
So, just kind of like a standard smart TV. I think it already has like Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus and all that stuff already on there.
Okay.
Okay. It does have USBs and stuff like that in the back, so if you wanted to, you can plug in a DVD player.
Okay.
Okay. And then this white USB right here that you see that's plugged into it. That's going to be for the antenna as an amplifier.
Oh,
that's
okay.
just the power source for the amplifier, not the power source for the antenna.
Mm-hmm.
So you can run the antenna still without that USB connected, okay?
Okay.
You're just not going to be able to search for many channels at that point.
Right.
It just helps boost the radius.
Okay, so there is an antenna.
It's built into the camper.
Oh, really?
Mhm. It's
Wow.
no longer sticking out.
Wow, because I've seen some people mount it on top of the AC and do all that kind of stuff, or have that big dome sticking up on top, you know.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
No, we built ours inside, so you don't have to worry about
Cool.
cranking it down or air clearance or anything like that.
now this goes to the, like if I'm at a campsite and I plug in my coax.
Yes, sir.
Is there a cable that runs from there into the back of the TV?
No, you'll have to get yourself a little small.
I've got those at home. Yep. One down. Okay, yeah, I see it. Now that looks like it has a place to plug in some USBs.
Yeah, that one
On that.
has USBs as well.
Okay, so I have a 110 there and a 110 there.
Yeah, and then 110 right over there.
And a 110 right there.
And
Okay.
then a 110 under the closet door as well.
Okay. And this one looks like it's a ground fault.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And there's a 110 under there.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Cool. I didn't realize I had that many.
Yeah, no, yeah, it comes with that many already.
That is awesome.
Yeah, should be enough.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, see, my wife has a BiPAP machine,
Oh,
so that's what I'm looking for.
I gotcha.
And I got an adapter for the BiPAP machine, so if we need to, we can run it off a 9-volt.
There you go. Yeah.
So we can either run 110 or 9-volt
Yep,
on it.
yep, there you go. Good idea.
I'll give you royalties on this.
I gotcha, appreciate it. And then you have your smoke detector right up there. Okay.
Okay, right back there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just standard smoke detector, nothing
Okay.
crazy about
Yep.
that. Okay.
Battery's not in it yet, so yeah.
Yeah, battery's not in it all
Yeah,
the way yet.
that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Let me go ahead and hook up a propane tank and I'll show you the propane stove a little better, okay? So
Okay.
give me a second. You have this little switch right here. That's
Yes.
going to be for your water heater.
Okay.
So that water heater, you can either turn it on with propane or electric.
Okay.
So if you guys are boondocking, that switch right there is going to be for propane, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
Now let me go ahead and show you guys the stove.
Yeah.
Pretty simple, nothing crazy here. You can go ahead and turn that on, okay?
Okay.
That's just the lights, okay? You don't actually need that on to cook, right?
Okay.
Alright, it's more for show. You push down and twist to the left, okay? And push down.
We got kind of stupid at home, but I don't know what it's called, the clicking in the
Yeah.
gas.
I like it's sealed burners.
Yeah.
I like that. That way, you know.
And then you have yourself a little fan right here and your little light button right here, okay?
Now that fan is just vented. It's just inside,
It's
right?
inside, yeah.
So these clips right here can drop, and that's where the filters are.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. All
Is
right.
that correct? And then inside this cabinet right here,
Mhm.
you're gonna have yourself the red switch. That's gonna be on the left-hand side. That's gonna be for your battery, okay?
Oh,
That's the main
this right.
shutoff.
Oh, so it's not a key.
Yeah, it's not a key anymore.
Okay.
It's the main shutoff switch for
Yeah.
the battery. So if you ever have to storage, winterize your camper, and it's not going to be plugged in for a couple weeks, you're going to go ahead and shut that battery off. So
Okay.
nothing's draining it over time.
All right.
Okay.
I like that much better than the key.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
the key stuck out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would hear stories of people who would.
Yeah, a lot of our customers didn't like that, so we
Yeah.
went ahead and switched it. Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Alrighty.
All right.
And then inside that rear cabinet over there, you're gonna have like all the the basket and the strainer and all that stuff for the deep sink. Okay.
Oh, okay. There it
We
is.
just don't recommend a trowel with it inside
Yeah.
the sink because it's obviously gonna scratch up the inside of the sink and all that.
That's like a strainer and stuff that goes in the sink. Yeah, because whenever we travel, we're going to be putting some like soap dishes and stuff like that down in there.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off.
Yeah, because it's a little chilly.
It's working, right?
It's working. It is
Which
working.
is good because I like to be cool when it's hot out.
Well,
oh yeah,
when we had our pop-up, she kept it so cold one time in the pop-up that when I stepped out, my glasses fogged over.
Oh yeah, I have that issue sometimes too.
Colorado can get hot.
Yeah. Alrighty. Any
Okay.
questions so far?
It's up to him. I'm just
No, I
sitting here.
pretty much understand.
Okay, alrighty. Let me show you the stuff that's in this closet. You're good right there. I'm gonna
Oh,
pull this
let me ask you. I think I ordered a rivet kit.
Yeah, this is right here.
That's right there. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that's missing out of here is the rivet tool, okay?
Okay.
We just didn't have any in stock. The guy that preps them, he's pretty much written down your name on the list.
Okay.
Whenever we get some, he'll ship it out to you.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Great. All right. Look at the size of the closet.
I'll look real good later.
Yeah.
Just let him do his job.
Alright. So, right here you have yourself a mixture of tools that come with the camper already. You have an elbow for whenever you go to dump.
Okay.
I recommend to place this for a clear one. A clear one is just going to let you know when you're done dumping, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright?
Yeah.
And then you have this blue coiled up hose. This is going to be for the outside showers, a quick connect.
Okay. I like that better than that old plastic
Oh, yeah.
one that they used to have in them that you had trouble winding up and then closing the door.
Oh, hose.
Yeah.
You're just going to clean up outside.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Lug wrench, obviously, right?
Okay. And that fits the tire lugs and...
That would be for your spare tires, going to be inside the toolkit.
Okay, all right.
Alrighty, and then you have the 12-volt battery monitor.
Okay.
Alrighty. Again, you plug it into that cigarette connection over there. It's just going to give you a 12-volt reading on the battery.
Okay.
Alrighty. And we also have the blowout plug for whenever you go to winterize.
Okay.
So whenever you go to, again, below freezing temperatures, you're going to go ahead and blow out the lines.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead and hook this up to the city water connection of the camper, remove the cap, and hook up an air compressor. Open up your faucets in here, okay? And just basically let whatever water's left over bleed out, okay?
Okay. Is there a low point drain?
Yes, you have two of them. You have one for the freshwater tank, and then you also have one for the two dump valves. So
Okay.
Which is your black and gray.
Right, okay.
Alrighty. When we're out there, obviously, I'll point out where all that stuff's at.
It's just as these questions are coming to mind.
Yeah,
You know?
I get you. You have a socket for your scissor jacks, so if you have a drill, you can use that, okay?
I brought the drill.
You have a big manual crank inside the closet,
Mhm.
so you can use the manual crank for the scissor jacks as well, okay?
And is it just the jacks in the back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
You have a hitch lock as well, so before you head out of here, I'm going to make sure to put the hitch lock on here.
Okay,
Has its own set of keys. I'll make sure to add it with the rest of the keys that you get later on.
okay,
Okay, so we'll just leave this one off to the side.
all right.
And then we also give you guys a water pressure regulator, okay?
Mhm.
The water pressure regulator is going to be used for whenever you guys are at your campsites, okay?
Okay,
You want to go ahead and put this at the campground's faucet, and then your hose run into the casita, all right?
okay.
So, again,
And what pressure do
this is going to set it somewhere from 40 to 50. if I'm
40,
not
50?
mistaken.
Okay, all right, cool. Because believe it or not, I went out and bought a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I got one of those pressure regulators you can
With the-
adjust
with
and
the
the gauge
adjustment.
on it and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can. It's a good idea to have two of those because you'll run into some at the campsite where people just forget them.
Mhm.
That's why a lot of people always say we recommend to put it on your hose instead of on the faucet of the campsite.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so leave it attached to your hose.
Okay.
Alrighty. Any questions about the tools in here though?
No.
No. Pretty simple.
Yep, it is. As my wife says, as much as I've studied all this stuff.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. I mean, he tries to explain it to me. I'm like, just stop. I you're speaking German.
You're speaking
I
German.
really don't care.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Any questions about the tools though?
No, I think
No.
it's
Standard tools, basic tools there.
Yeah.
It's back in here.
He probably watches more YouTube videos about campers and how-to and tips
Yeah.
than anybody maybe in the world.
Yeah, it's
He could almost be a salesman. He could almost be one of you guys.
what's it called? Yeah, we've had plenty of customers come by and they do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They'll spend
Me, I'm like, I'm
countless
clueless.
hours.
Just tell me where I can eat and sit. And okay, go ahead.
Alrighty, you have yourself the little fan right up here. You have 2 buttons for this, okay? You have the light button on the outside, and then you have your fan button on the inside, okay?
Okay.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and open up the handle. So you're gonna grab the handle, press down the black button, push up. And there you go.
Cool.
Then we're gonna shut that down, you're good to go.
Now, if you pull the handle down, does it shut it off? Or
No.
do you have to shut it off?
You just have to shut it off.
You have to shut it off. Okay. All right.
So we're a pop-up camper.
Yeah, because people were complaining that, well, there's only one towel bar and it's like right here.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I am glad Casita listens.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just give us some time and we'll do the adjustments.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
So for your toilet, whenever you guys go to push the pedal down halfway, okay, you'll start to see the water come off through the side. Push the pedal all the way down, and it's going to be flushing directly into the black water tank.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty. Now, before anyone actually uses the black water tank, go ahead and fill up the tank with like at least like maybe like 2-3 gallons of water. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
And then your storage in here is going to be your dry storage. Okay.
Is that a new style toilet? Because it looks different from
This
some
one
I've
right
seen.
here?
Yes.
Yes, it's new.
Okay. I thought it looked like a newer style.
Yes, sir. It is. Yeah, we this is something new. I think to the 24s and the 25s, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, this one seals a lot better though.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the toilet paper.
Yeah, the toilet paper holder is still the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Water resistant. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then for the shower to start running, it's almost like a bathtub. You just got to raise this up and the shower starts to run.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
And there's an on-off button on the.
With this one, there's not.
Okay.
So a lot of people, even if it did have an on-off button,
Yeah.
a lot of people like to replace it. So.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I've seen people put different. The ones on there do have the on-off button so that they can just leave it turned on and just turn it off. So okay.
Alrighty.
All right.
Any questions on the bathroom?
No, not really. You don't.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even with the bathroom, like I tell our customers, even with me or without me, you would figure out the bathroom on your own. That's at the end of the day a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep. Okay.
Any questions about the inside? Because we are pretty much done with the inside. Oh, one thing. You're missing one other sheet, but this right here is a PDI checklist. This is just basically letting you know that one supervisor went ahead and checked out the outside, made sure that everything looks good.
Okay.
Everything operates properly on the outside. You'll have another one that's going to be for the inside. I'll make sure to get that. I'm pretty sure he still has them. He just forgot to bring them out.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
And then you're going to lift it up a little bit, okay? Tighten it, kick it out, go on the other side, and you're going to do the exact same thing.
Okay. At least it's not raining today, right?
Right. I think yesterday was our last day. Hopefully it is. We've been getting a lot of rain here recently.
I noticed all the flooded areas.
Oh, yeah. And then you go ahead and reel it out some more, okay?
Okay.
Then you're going to go ahead and kick your legs out some more, reel it out. You're essentially just walking this thing out.
Okay.
Whenever it's fully extended out, it's going to be about 10 foot, so it's a pretty long awning.
Yeah, that
Notice
is.
the awning will eventually, the fabric in the middle will start to sag down a little bit. So that's why that center raft piece comes into play. It comes in from right here to right over there.
Right there. Okay. All right. And that just snaps in and then
Yeah, you just hook it on there.
just hook it on. Okay. All right.
Alrighty. Now, if you don't feel like extending out the awning all the way, you have this little raft piece right here. I'm sorry, bracket right here. Go ahead and tighten it up right there. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Now this is just for short shade though.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Not the full 10 feet. It's just for
Exactly.
just very short. Yeah. And then you do the reverse thing, just walk it back also.
Yeah, just walk it back. Okay. Then go ahead and loosen it off. All the way up to the top. Okay. Your foot right here is facing the awning wall, so it's facing the inside wall.
Okay.
Okay. Push this in and then snap it on.
So push the outer edge in first.
Right.
The outer edge. Okay. Push that in first.
Again, just make sure that the foot is facing the inside wall. Okay. locks it in. And then,
Cool.
okay.
That is awesome.
There you go.
Now, some people I know have talked about putting straps.
Yeah, you can put some straps on there if you wanted
Okay.
to. It's not really necessary, but
Okay.
you can.
I know some people have talked about that, but this is
Right.
new. It's closed solid. So
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that anytime soon.
yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. All right.
Connect your remote connected.
Okay. So I just programmed your key fob as well.
Okay.
So we'll just make sure that that's working. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. You lock it with your key fob. You can unlock it with your code and unlock it with your key as well. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. So.
All right. Now, does the key fob and the code just lock this one?
Exactly right.
Okay, because this is the deadbolt, right?
Right. And it's just locking the handle.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So that way is locked. Turn. Yeah. Horizontal. Okay.
Solar light during the daytime is gonna be charging. Once it's not, you actually be able to come out here and turn it on. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For a second.
Okay. And is it a motion sensor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Cool. I know the old ones had the switch on the inside.
Right.
Oh no, the switch was out here to
Yeah,
turn it on.
I
and
know
off.
some of them were, but this one
Yeah.
was in the outside.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's okay because I can turn it, basically turn it on and leave it on.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This right here is gonna be your refrigerator vents.
Yeah.
So the top and bottom, this is just your coils.
Okay.
So at least every 6 months, so with an air hose blow it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bottom part's still the refrigerator. The only thing you have to worry about is this wire right here.
Yes.
That's plugged into 110L on the left-hand side. If
Okay.
your refrigerator is acting up on you, you may want to check this plug and see if it's still plugged in or not.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've seen someone had issue with the
Yeah.
refrigerator and they came out and yeah, it was the plug.
Exactly right.
Now is that hose? Is that for drainage?
Yeah, the condensation hose. Yeah.
That's a condensate, and that'll drain right out
through the bottom.
through the bottom. Okay. All right.
Alright. And then your 110s only works for your power. Furnace exhaust, whenever it's on, you want to stay away from these, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
The tire pressure on here is going to be at 65.
Okay.
On the lugs, if you have a torque wrench, it's going to be at 110 on the torque, okay?
110 on the lugs and 65 on the tire pressure.
Yes, sir.
What's the speed rating? On
81.
81.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you
okay.
can go all the way up to 75.
I don't plan on it. I plan 60 to 65.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. You have your outside storage and then the fresh water tank right here, okay?
Okay.
Which you have the upgraded, so it's 23 gallons.
There's still some storage, and I can still probably put some tools or something in
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
there. Yeah. Yeah, I've watched videos of the older Casitas, and I can see just quite a difference.
Yeah.
Just a big difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Then you have yourself the freshwater fill.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Is there a tire cover for the spare?
Yes. there
Okay.
is gonna be a tire cover.
Just check. Just asking. I know I'm getting ahead of you, but
No, you're fine.
as it pops into my head.
Then you also have the sewer hose, about
Okay.
25 foot, okay?
All right. If I didn't know, if I would have known this, a lot of this stuff that I was going to get ahead of time,
Oh,
I would have waited. So you push it in to lock it to
Yeah.
lock it in place.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. That in. Push that in. Okay.
Now make sure to time that up, right?
All right.
Okay. Rear receiver hitch, that's going to be a total of 150, okay?
Yes.
That's your hitch, basket, whatever else. Okay.
I've got a basket to go back here with a waterproof cover and all
nice,
that.
nice.
It weighs 27 pounds.
There you go.
So I calculate exactly what I can put on there.
Now this is what the battery department used to be at.
Yeah.
And your power cord storage is in there. Okay.
And I can put some more stuff in there too.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted the solar because my wife and I, we want to minister to people out in the desert.
Oh, okay.
And so we want some way to have battery power,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, so, all right. Water
Alright.
heater.
Water heater,
That sure looks different than the one I had in my pop-up.
So the water heater, before you turn it on, you always want to make sure you have water inside your tank.
Okay.
So the way you check yourself is you have this little lever right here.
Right.
You're gonna lift it up, okay?
Okay. Pressure.
Once you lift it up and you start releasing the pressure, you'll start to see water come out eventually if you're hooked into a water source.
Okay.
And that's how you know the tank's getting filled up, okay?
Okay.
So then you can turn it on electrically on the bottom left here.
Electrically right down, okay, that switch right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be for electrical.
Yeah, let me point to that again because I didn't get it there, right there. Okay. All right.
Inside's propane.
Inside's propane for like boondocking and
Yep.
such, and electrical if I'm hooked up to electricity, that's
Exactly.
what I'm going to do. Okay.
Okay. And then you have the anode rod right here in the middle.
So there is an anode rod.
Yes, sir.
Because mine didn't have one. So
Yeah.
how
Yes.
often should I check the anode rod?
At least every 6 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you go to undo it though, you're gonna have the water drain out from there as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just be careful with that.
Okay. Yeah, we were at a campground one time with our other one, and they had something with their water. And next campground we went to, I turned it on, and it smelled like rotten eggs. And I had to run vinegar through the whole system.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Alrighty.
All right.
So this is just our power cord. We're just using it, right? About 25 foot. The way that we have you plugged in, it's through a 110 outlet, so you get the 110 adapter with your power cord that's already on.
Okay.
Okay.
But the AC came on 110.
Yeah. This is with a 20 amp breaker.
A 20 amp breaker. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So the AC will come on with a 20 amp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solar port. So this is where you're plugging in your panels. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? You just plug it in directly. Okay. And it's just the controller is gonna be back on the solar panel, and
Yes.
it's just gonna tell you how much it's pulling in.
And you've got my panel for me.
Yeah, it's
somewhere.
right over up against the
Okay.
door over there.
And that's the coaxial up there.
Yeah, that's the black one.
Okay. All right.
Alright. And then your outside shower.
Yeah. I like that a whole lot better than what we had on our
Yeah.
pop up.
Hot and cold, just pop it in there, you're good to go.
Okay. Much better.
Alrighty. And your city water. For whenever you are at your campsites, again, the regulator, I recommend to put at the campground's faucet
Yeah.
and your hose run to your casita, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. And then your dump station, okay? So let me go ahead and slow this up.
So that rotates.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I need to do anything like to the seals in there for the rotation, or?
Not really.
Okay.
Some people like to grease them, but
Yeah.
you don't really have to do that. Okay. You have your black water first that you're gonna drain out. Okay.
Okay.
Once that's in, you close that off, and then do your gray water. Your gray water is gonna be your sink and shower lines. Okay.
Okay.
And you close that off. And close it like that.
And I do have a clear angle for that one and a clear one for the.
Nice. Yeah.
So, because someone recommended getting a clear for that way you can see it here
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
Get your campground's right, and you're gonna go ahead and ready to unhitch. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna drop this wheel all the way down to the ground. You're really gonna be on your stabilizer plate, right? But
Okay.
And once we got it on the ground, we're going to continue to lift it up while you're hooked up to the vehicle. And what this is doing is basically relieving the tension off these chains a little bit.
Okay.
And that's just going to help you either loosen it or tighten it right back up.
Okay. All
So
right.
right now what we're doing is we're going to loosen the chain off a tad bit.
Mhm.
What we're going to do is we're going to come back here. So you don't count this first thread because it's cut off.
Okay.
You go 1, 2, 3, and 4.
and 4.
So this vehicle requires 4 threads, okay?
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna loosen this off a little bit. So we're gonna get this nut flush with the bolt, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's flush. Yep.
Yep, and then we go from the other side and do the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. We got that flush. We're gonna go ahead and unhitch. Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab our carter pin, pull that out.
Okay.
Alright. Then this pin slides out. And you drop the plate all the way down. And you're good to go.
Okay.
And then you just lift this up high enough off the ball. And drive your vehicle wherever you need to.
Okay. Now these don't come off. These stay on, right? So the only thing that I drop is that. I don't do anything with the chain or with this back here. Or,
So, if you wanted to,
yeah,
you could take off the chain off completely.
yeah.
You just gotta remember how it's assembled, right?
I'm not going to fool with that then.
Yeah, you don't have to though.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Let's say I'm in a place where that I can't get this straight, or it's at a little bit of an angle.
Uh-huh.
What do I do with that?
You're basically gonna struggle, but you can put it
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
But you would want to ideally try to line it up as best as you can to put it on.
Yeah. Okay.
There's not really much you can do to
Right.
adjust it or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. Just curious.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
All right.
So now everything's reversed, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and drop this down. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and grab this.
You need help with that? You got?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Ready? And go ahead. Put the carter pin through. Ready?
Okay.
Then we're gonna go ahead and just cross our safety chains.
And those go underneath that plate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there like a little? Oh, there is a little locking pin.
Yeah, there's a little clip on there.
Yeah, a little clip on there. Okay.
Yep. Alrighty.
Okay.
And then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna tighten this up to 4 threads.
Okay. I like how you've got the coil brake.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Alrighty, we got 4.
Let me have a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't count this one on the end.
Right.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got it.
And then you go to the end. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Just come right back down here.
I think this needs another one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hitch it up. a little.
Oh, okay. Just going to hitch up. Yeah.
Tighten it up too much.
Ah.
Might push that up a little bit.
Oh, there you go. So make sure. So click that lock before you tighten one up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Ready? Okay. You ready? Then we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up.
you. Okay.
And then what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and wheel.
So I've got the camper hitched up to the back of the SUV, and I mean it's driving pretty level. I think you can tell there's a weight in the back, especially when you go over bumps. You can sort of feel it a little bit, and we're on a bumpy road right now. But yeah, the car is pulling it really good. It's not really straining it.
Quarter mile.
And so everything is going really good so far. We're heading over to the campground over in Canton, Texas.